We have anybody on, no, we don't need this one.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Yarmouth Zoning Board of Appeals. Today's date is April 24th, 2025. My name is Sean Igo. I'm the chairman of this board, and we have three matters on our agenda tonight. The first one is petition 5172, Gregory C. Belzikian. Would you like to come on up, Greg? Property location at 169 Route 6A, Yarmouthport. It's in an R40 and B1 zoning district. The applicant seeks a special permit per 104.3.2, paragraph 3, and/or variance from section 203.5, the side setback relief to raise and replace a pre-existing non-conforming barn. Good evening.
Good evening.
To identify yourselves for the record, please.
I'm Greg Belzikian. I'm the property owner.
Chris Weeks, I'm the builder.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about what you want to do?
Absolutely. I purchased 169 Route 6A hoping I could just do slight work to improve the property and make sure it's stable. I own a business next door that needed additional parking, so I was hoping to put the employees in the back and have people live in the residence. I learned quickly that the way the property was rented was not in keeping with the way it was zoned through the building inspector. Mark Grills said that there should be a dwelling in the barn, one dwelling in the big building, and one commercial on the lower part of the major building. So I've been working toward that goal based on the conversation I had with him. And I started to get into the weeds of the building, and it's much more rot and much more complexity than I originally anticipated. I just want to back up for 1 second and just say that we went to Old Kings Highway first, and they said that we should see the ZBA prior to an Old Kings Highway hearing. Is that correct?
Well, generally, we don't do it that way. We generally have it go through all of the boards, and then at the end, we deal with the land use, and it comes to us. I do have a memo that I'll read into the record in just a second, but that's okay. We can proceed this way.
Okay, I just want to.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll make it.
I have some notes. I just want to make sure I don't miss some points. The original plan for the barn was, we found out that the basement was not stable from a structural engineer. We don't have a letter, but I'll get one from him, but he said it was not worthwhile keeping. So we plan on raising the building up, digging a new foundation, and putting it back in place. We demoed the inside of the building and found that there was very little old structure left, that there was a lot of shoring done on the building. And for us to make it a home, it would require a tremendous amount of work. So we would like to, based on all that, demo the building. There's lead paint on the outside, which would be a problem to have young children in. There are, again, structural. Chris Weeks, who's a builder, said there's not much for him to work with either. So, so we have a letter from Catalyst, the architect, saying there's not much for him to design with. So we've got a couple of points. I just spoke to the Historical Society of Yarmouth today. They're going to do a study as well and come back with some reporting as to actually how old the building is. We don't have. The only thing I can find is from 1982, a building permit from a builder. So they're going to do a little bit more research in terms of the age of the building. But at the end of the day, we have a design that shows the building as it is. It just would be new construction. We'd put a full foundation and build new in the same location. We came here as a result of meeting with Mark, who said, we have to look at the setbacks, and I think that's the subject of conversation, as I'm aware.
Yes, it is. Yes. You're seeking side setback relief is what you're looking for. Yeah, okay. Anything else you'd like to add at this time?
No.
Okay, all right. Why don't we go to the board with some questions? Barbara, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
So you don't know at this point how you would situate a new building on the site?
Well, I think this is how this is a discussion tonight.
Yeah.
How much how much we can actually move it in its current spot. Coming into the property, if you look at the plan, it looks like there's plenty of room between the two buildings, but it's pretty tight, and there will be cars coming in and out. One of the exploratory things I'm looking at is to alleviate traffic off of 6A with some of our trucks, is to see if we can use that as a loading and unloading zone, because we have a lot of our neighbors complaining about trucks parking on 6A. So if we snuck a small spot there that we could unload during the day, Baldor food delivery or FedEx, it takes time to train them. The issue is not necessarily us providing space, but training the drivers to do it. But I think there's an opportunity to make things a little bit more quiet in the end, but we would have to look at it. Chris he has a very oversized map, and he cut out a small piece of the building. We can move it around and see where it fits. I mean, I'm only married, my marriage to the location was to try to preserve everything in place. That was my original intention. I mean, I never expected this was going to become such a complicated endeavor. So, we're here to partner with, I live here. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do to satisfy, these needs. And if it's, 1 or 2 feet to the, toward the inside, 1 or 2 feet back, it'll fit. There's another opportunity to move it further back, but that's something we hadn't explored. But based on these kind of conversations, we're just trying to figure out what the right decision is, honestly.
Okay. That's all right now.
Okay. John?
And so currently you are how far away from the,
1.5 feet.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship with the neighbor. We talked to Laurel about fencing because she has a nursery school there. So we've got, she had a tree on her lot that I helped her take down. There's no, we're here as a matter of, not as a matter of neighbor from, she's not unhappy. She's fine supporting us in the project and as we see fit. If she needs to write a letter, we can certainly get one from her.
yeah, no opposition.
No opposition.
No, she understands we're going to excavate into her property.
I'm sorry?
She understands we're going to excavate into her property, doing a foundation and such.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the overdig would require us to go on over the lot line.
She's all right with that?
Yep.
All right with that.
That's all I have right now.
Okay, thank you. Jay?
So you have lighthouse keepers on one side of you, and on the other side is
Northside Nursery. I went
Northside
there in
Nursery.
1970.
I was just happened to be there the other day and saw all the construction going on. So the intent right now is, from what I'm hearing, is you just want to basically raise and replace on the same footprint with the same setbacks that you have today.
That's my intent. That was the original intention.
That's basically what you want to do. Is the,
Like, if we need to do something to do something more proper, we
Yeah.
open to the discussion. I'm not steadfast, but that was my original intention.
and the building you're going to put there is similar to the current one, it's no taller?
No taller, no wider, no longer.
3 sides of it is going to be exactly like it is now.
Yeah. I don't have any other questions, thanks.
Thank you.
Dick?
I think any questions I might have had have been answered. I think it's a reasonable proposal, provided they are going to get their approvals from historic.
Okay. I was over there the other day and met with Mr. Belziki, and I think one of the concerns that I had was the building being right on the lot line. I mean, what we generally try to do, when we can, if feasible, is try to move it off the lot line. Mr. Belziki and I had a couple of discussions about possibly moving it off 2 feet just to mitigate it a little bit, and then maybe 2 feet back. I don't want to disturb your driveway, because I think that's important to maintain that. Is that something that you would be amenable to?
Yeah, Chris actually printed off a larger plan and actually put it on there. It fits.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, that was the only concern that I had. Otherwise, everything looks fine. But again, if you've been over there, he's got that driveway that comes in, and if you just moved it to the left 2 feet, I think you'd be choking off your driveway. So I think if you do move in, you need to move back, just so that can be maintained and open, so.
Right.
That was the only concern. I think it's important for us to try to mitigate any setbacks that are non-conforming, if we can. I think in this case, we probably could.
It, you know, as I said, Chris put it right here on a plan for us to take a look at. It looks fine here.
Okay.
One question about if you move it. If you move it, I know the septic tank is right in back. Is that too close to it?
Currently, the barn is 15 feet from the septic tank.
Yeah.
So if we push it back 2.5 feet,
You're still
we're still
okay.
within the 10, within the 11 feet
11
required.
feet's the requirement?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, that was the only thing. Well, regarding the Old Kings Highway and why you're here first versus them, we did receive a memo from Lisa Sherman dated April 17th. Following a discussion with the building commissioner, the applicant appeared before the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee at its April 14th, 2025 hearing to request a certificate of demolition for a barn located at 169 Route 6A, Yarmouthport. At the time of the hearing, the committee was unaware of the reason why a request for relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals procedurally follows other town boards and committees. In addition, the committee wanted to assess the condition of the barn before making a decision on the application. The committee voted to table the application pending a site visit, which has been scheduled for April 22nd, 2025. The committee is expected to hold a hearing on April 28th, 2025, to determine how to proceed with the application for a certificate of demolition. And that's from Lisa Sherman, Administrator of the Old Kings Highway Historic District, and that is a memo to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Generally, we do see them, we do see you after them. However, just for their information, if they're watching, we never approve anything north of Route 6 that is not conditioned on Old Kings Highway approval. So we always put that as a condition. So if they haven't looked at it before we look at it, that would be a condition. So that would also be a condition of our approval, if they approve it.
I just had one other question.
ahead.
All right. I noticed you're doing a lot of construction on the driveway, the parking area in the back. And are there trees that have been taken down all along? It looks like it's much more wide open than it was. I just was
Yeah, when I
curious.
took over the property, the existing septic system was mounded and poorly installed. So, and it was flooding my property. The lighthouse keeper's pantry property was getting flooded
Okay.
with water, so I wanted to put a new 3-bedroom septic system in, so I knew what I would have had. The septic system that was on site was actually not even on file with the Board of Health. We asked the health inspector for the as-built plans so we could make sure we weren't duplicating it. He was unable to produce those as-built plans, so we cleared more land in the back to be able to put that septic tank in.
Saw that, yeah. So that's already installed?
It's already installed.
Okay, so that's what's cleared in the back?
That's what's cleared in the back, correct?
There were a fair amount of trees back there also?
Yes.
Okay. Between the properties, though, I noticed there's some small trees on the side of the bakery. Is that all that was there before?
We moved the tall, thin trees to the back of the property. We're starting screening on the back, and we're gonna start we're repurposing as many trees to go in the back, and we'll put in more decorative elements along the parking area as we move
Will
forward.
there be any trees between you and the daycare center?
Yes, we have also, those trees are actually at the landscapers now, all ready to be installed. We just have to figure out where this building is going, because we were gonna probably cannibalize some of that space by moving them there, but we'll have tree screening along there, yeah.
Okay, so there will be screening.
Yeah, we've already ordered the trees. It's already in place.
All right, thank you.
It's kind of the story of my life. Everybody plants trees before I take a building down.
Okay. Anything else from the board at this time? No. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of this petition? If so, please come to the microphone. Okay. All right. We have someone on, let's invite him in for comment. Anthony, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Good evening. Could you
Yeah,
identify
thank you all
yourself
for-
for the record, please?
Sure. Anthony Ponabianco, 7 Minden Lane. I am currently staring at the barn that we're looking at. Sorry, I couldn't be there in person for everyone. And just for the record, I'm here only in my individual abutter capacity to the applicant. And I'm in favor of the applicant's proposal. They've been great neighbors and, really has an eye towards keeping the historical nature and providing for the community. I don't think it derogates from the intent of the bylaw, and the applicant's proposal, from my position as an abutter, should be approved, and I'm happy to support Greg in this endeavor.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Appreciate your comments. Anyone else wish to speak in favor of this petition? Come to the microphone, please, sir.
Hi,
Tell us your name, please.
John Seeger. I'm an abutter of the Lighthouse Keeper property. And so whatever happens is of great interest to us. Greg has been nothing but forthright about his plans for the property, and we're confident that he will take into account the desires of the neighbors.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Anyone else like to speak in opposition to this petition? Seeing none. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I appreciate the board's questions and time. Thank you very much.
So we're going to close the hearing to public discussion and open it up for the board. Anybody wish to begin a discussion or make a motion?
I think it's a reasonable request, given it's going to lessen the, whatever infringement there was on the setback. So I'd be happy to make a motion to approve, contingent upon the Historic District approval also.
Okay, all right.
As presented with the extra 2 feet back and 2 feet over.
And could we just put as a condition that the petitioner will submit a site plan to the board
To that effect.
to show that it's 2 feet off and 2 feet back?
An as-built?
Yeah, that's fine.
A plan first, then an as-built. Or do you want-
Do you want to propose first?
Whichever, we'd like to have an as-built eventually. but
Yeah,
an
as-built eventually, of course.
Yeah, that's what we'd like.
Okay,
That's really what we need. You can do the as-built, it's fine, we don't need two.
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
All right?
Okay, we have a motion made by Jay with the conditions that we receive an as-built that shows the building 2 feet off the lot line and 2 feet to the rear of its present location, as well as it's subject to the approval of the Old Kings Highway Historic District. Anyone wish to second the motion?
Second.
Second? Any further discussion on the motion? All I would say is it's certainly not going to be substantially more non-conforming than what's there now. It certainly won't be any undue nuisance hazard or congestion. I do think you meet the criteria under the bylaw for the special permit. All right, we'll take a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that carries unanimously. As you may or may not know, once it's filed with the town clerk, the decision, there's a 20-day appeal period. After that, Boris will contact you. You come pick up your special permit, take it to the Registry of Deeds, record it, and just bring a copy back for our records.
Can do that. You guys will draft that. We
Will
don't
we
have
draft
an attorney.
the-
I'm representing myself, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh, we have variance, yes. You don't need a variance, so we would ask that you withdraw your request for variance without prejudice.
I withdraw my request for variance without prejudice.
Okay?
So moved.
So, have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none? Okay, that's withdrawn without
Great.
prejudice. Yes, Dolores will give you a call. We'll draft the decision for you.
Great.
And we'll give you a call when it's ready.
Perfect.
Okay, very
So
good.
much.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, push that up there. All right. The next matter is petition 5173, Michelle Jean Baptiste, doing business as Cape Bloom Floral Design. The property is located at 228 Route 28, West Yarmouth. It's in a B2 zoning district, and the applicant, come on up, have a seat. The applicant seeks a variance from section 202.5 footnote 2 for an H1 use in a B2 zoning district to conduct the temporary and seasonal sale of plants outside a building. Good evening.
Hello,
How are you tonight? Could you identify yourself for the record, please?
sure, Michelle Jean Baptiste.
Okay. All right, why don't you tell us about what you want to do?
Sure, I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Michelle. I was born in Lebanon, overseas. My dad worked for the U.S. Embassy in Beirut for many, many years, and as a special gift for the great work he's done, they offered us a special immigration to come here and have better life, better opportunities. So we moved here in 2005 to Yarmouth. We purchased a home in Yarmouth. I went to Dennis Yarmouth High School. I grew up here. I love this town. I'm really happy to have an opportunity to possibly work in Yarmouth and have my kids spend their summer in Yarmouth. So when we moved here, my parents got a job outside of Kmart. I'm sure everybody knows Kmart back then when they had flowers out there. So they took care of the plants and flowers for many, many years. 15 plus. So growing up, I was always there with them when I was in school, and I was learning how to care for flowers myself, and this is kind of where I found my passion. However, I went to business management. I managed a multi-million-dollar company in Boston for a few years, 10 years. And then I got married, COVID hit. My parents got laid off from work, and they were devastated because they loved what they did. They loved working with their flowers. They loved being outside. So of course, me thinking, okay, how do I save the situation? Because that's kind of what we've always been trained to do. I decided to try to open a small garden place for them so they can spend their time and I can help them. So we opened an outdoor shop in Hyannis. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. Back in 2021 on an open lot in Hyannis. And it was just really for time passing and just being around people for my parents, really. We did that for 3 years, and then I got laid off of work in September. So everything that was, an idea, something fun for my parents became very serious because now I had to turn that into the source of income for my family and my kids. So I have been searching for the perfect location to sell plants and flowers based on my management experience and based on the floral experience that we've had over the many years. And I came across this lot in Yarmouth on 228. I did realize that someone was trying to do, they had the same exact idea as I do last year. However, I'm not sure for what reasons they didn't move forward with their plans. So here I am today, hoping I can move forward with my plans. We did meet with Mark, and we were trying to speed things up and move forward because, as you know, May is a very, very crucial month for our success. This is where we're going to make more than 50% of our sales in May. And I know here I am, it's almost May. So I am here asking permission to be able to conduct business while using the same plans that were approved last year for the previous person that was attempting to do this, and try to keep everything within the approvals that you had last year to try to move forward as soon as possible.
Okay. And so you're here tonight to seek a variance, and the reason you're trying to seek a variance, so we're all on the same page, is because you're required to have a building, and you don't have a building on the site.
Correct.
Okay. Now, okay, hold on here. This is this a lease, this term sheet I'm looking at right here from Cary Commercial?
Yes.
So he's giving you a term for 3 months?
Correct.
Okay. I think last year, there's been a lot of people that have been trying to do some things with this particular site. One of them we couldn't accommodate. The gentleman who came in last year, I guess he was going to sell hydrangeas, if I recall correctly.
And I don't think that was approved,
Oh,
right?
well, we did allow that one, yeah. We allowed him to, 'cause we didn't allow the go-karts. We did allow the sale of the hydrangeas, though. And that was for a very similar situation as our petitioner is asking tonight. So, okay, so why don't we go to the board for some questions? Dick, do you have questions for the petitioner?
I have no problem with the use and the temporary use being there. It's appropriate. I do have some issues. It's still a business use. There may not be a building, and that's fine with me. But I think, I think we should have at least some kind of buffering in the front, which I'm not seeing any idea of planting anything, obviously, right? You're not planning on planting anything in front? Okay.
No.
And the parking that's here seems to be down in the back right corner of that would seem to be closer than the 10 feet required between this and your neighbor. I think you could just move a space or two over the other side or whatever.
Okay.
And that would probably work for that, but I don't think it should be allowed any closer than we allow any parking lot. Otherwise, I'm good for it. I know we've talked about, temporary, shrubs that are in pots that could be moved, but I think there needs to be some kind of buffer improvement, even if it's temporary to the front, the sides. I think there's generally enough trees to the sides, and I know there's a line of trees by the restaurant. And other side has at least some, and there's plenty, of course, in back. So, but the front would, I think, need some greening up.
Okay. Jay?
I think last year we also had some questions about hours of operation and days of the week and that type of thing.
Yes, so we will be operating 9 to 6, 7 days a week if possible.
Okay, which is fine, because that's what we did last time. And then I think it was, so you're looking for 3 months, is that it? Just
May, June, and July, yes.
July?
Yes.
Okay. You're sure you don't need anything beyond that?
I think
So-
we could probably give them August, it would be,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Just to make sure?
Make it work a little.
You don't have to, but, at least you'd have the right to if you want to.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then there was a need to have a portable toilet on site.
Absolutely. We have done that in the past at the other location, so we'll be happy to do that.
Okay,
As
so
well.
those conditions would be fine with you if we
Thank
did
you.
it? Okay, so, and Dick asked the other question, so that's all I had. Thank you.
John?
Yeah, I don't have much. In chain link fence all around, be installed.
Yes.
No, I'm happy to see something done with this lot. I mean, it's been a dumping ground for,
Well, they did clean it up,
they
yeah.
did, and
Yeah,
then, but they started dumping on it again.
They cleaned it again.
They did.
I asked him to clean it up. I asked him to remove all the
Somebody's
trash
using
in
it
there
as their
before we
private
go in
dump.
there.
So, but anyway, I don't have any issues with this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara?
Where are you sourcing all your plants from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut, okay. And so how often will a truck come in with those?
So we're going to see based on the traffic, once every 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah,
Unless, it was busier, as we hope. So it'd be once a week, but as of right now, we have a truck on hold. We're just waiting for all the pieces to come together, to be delivered, yes.
And there's water and stuff on site?
So there's no water on site.
No.
We have done this in the past where we have brought in water tanks that will be placed all the way in the back, if that's okay. And then we will put a water pump inside of that tank, and then we'll water our flowers and then lock the tanks back up.
Okay.
Portable.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, very good. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of this petition? If so, please come to the microphone. Come on up, ma'am. Could you identify yourself, please?
Laura Eva Miranda. I just wanted to say that I've been buying flowers from these guys forever, as long as they've been in business. They're the best flowers ever. They make my yard look amazing. They last past the season, actually, and their family is incredible. They go over and above to make sure somebody's happy. If you go to, I've seen people come there when I'm there. They actually take the time to get out of, get off of their chairs to make sure this is the set that you need. This isn't the one that you need. This is what you want to do. This family is well versed in every flower you can imagine, the trees, the bushes, whatever. Matter of fact, you guys, if you do let them go, you got to go down there because they got the best flowers. And I say that these guys are hardworking. And I go way across town in order to get flowers from them.
Okay.
Okay? So please let them do it. Thanks.
Thank
and
you.
and the lot does need improvement, so I think they'd improve it beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none. Does anyone wish to speak in opposition to this petition? Seeing none. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
You do. I want to emphasize on the fact that May is our busiest month, and I understand, I had conversation with Ms. Dolores and Mark, and I do understand there is a process in place that we have to follow with the town of Yarmouth, and I do respect that fully. I am asking if there's any way we can have any type of exceptions in order for us to get started as soon as possible to set up and begin while we wait for the process to take its course.
Why don't we see if we're going to approve it, and if you, in fact, get a positive vote, maybe we could have a further discussion about that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We're going to close this to public discussion, open it up for board discussion.
I think it's a good use. We've approved it's basically the similar thing last year. I would be more in support of this going
Okay.
forward with the conditions that we had last year and maybe some of those pots of plants up front to dress it up if possible.
Yeah, if they could. I mean, it's only 3 months, so I guess it's not the end of the world, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
Barbara, your thoughts?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. John?
All for it.
Okay. Well, I think it would fit in there good as a nice seasonal use. We can clean that property up a little bit, and you certainly sound like you have a very good reputation. I know you asked for 3 months, so I'm thinking, I would suggest we could extend her time from May even through September. I don't think there's a problem with that, is there? No. Okay, so why don't we do May 1st to September 30th? Is that okay?
Thank you.
Or October
Yes.
1st, whichever. All right, and the hours of operation will be 9 to 6. Okay, so,
I'll be glad to make a motion to approve the request as presented with, the same conditions we had last year. I can repeat those if you want.
well, I think the only conditions we had for her were 9 to 6 and
Through September and then,
May 1st to
and a
September.
portable toilet on site.
And the portable toilet on site, yes, if you could do that in the rear there, that's fine. Okay.
Is there any other structure that you have to get out of the rain or the sun?
You could put up
So
some,
we basically follow the sun once we're on the lot, and this is how we position where our plants will be placed. So some plants will require morning sun, some plants will require afternoon sun, and this is kind of how we place our layout on the tables.
I mean, for your protection.
Oh, for our protection. In the past, we have put like a temporary tent on a different lot. If we could do that, I would be happy to do that. I just don't want to delay the process in any way.
how big is the tent?
It's 10 by 20? 10 by 20, I would say.
Maybe get a row in there? I don't, no. It's temporary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a way for you to get out of the elements, too, out of the sun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Any other discussion? So we had a motion made by Jay. Do we have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Barbara seconds. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That carries unanimously. Now, once the decision is written, it'll be clocked with the town clerk. 20 days must elapse. That's a technical appeal period. After that, she will contact you have you get your special permit. You should take it over to the Registry of Deeds and record it, excuse me, your variance,
Yes.
and bring back a copy to us. Now, I don't know that anybody is going to appeal, okay? This, I can't tell you what or what not to do. If you have rights to the property right now and you want to set up shop, you will do so at your own peril if someone appeals the decision. So that's your call. We can't tell you one way or the other. We'll try to get this decision written for you as quickly as we can. We'll get it clocked and get you in going here. Okay?
So just to make sure I understand this correctly, if we do have the right for the property right now, we could get started?
Well, we can't tell you that you can do that, okay?
Okay.
But if you want to go over there and with the belief that no one's going to appeal your decision, then you can. No one's going to go over there and stop you from doing that,
Okay, thank you.
okay? All right, I think you're off. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I
best of
appreciate
luck.
it.
Good luck.
Thank you for
For a
your time.
good
Thank you.
season.
And I hope to see all of you there.
Okay, well, there you go.
Kate Bloom. I'm sorry? Kate Bloom. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All
Have
right,
a great night.
good luck, you too. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Did I just do with my, oh, here's my agenda. Okay, the final petition is petition 5174, Mary Jane Yemens, property location at 40 Lorena Road, West Yarmouth. It's in an R25 zoning district. Seeks a special permit for 104.3.2 subparagraph 2 and/or a variance from section 203.5 to increase the height of a non-conforming structure to construct a second-floor addition and roof deck. Could you identify yourselves, please?
Stanley Crawford, contractor.
Mary Jane Yeomans, contractor.
Okay. And I believe we have a letter in our file here that authorizes you to speak on behalf of the owners?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and tell us what's going on here. Well, I was over there. Are you familiar with the property?
Yes. Yes, I
How
am.
are you familiar with the property?
I've been over through the job with Stanley.
Have you been inside the house?
Yes.
Okay. I see there's a stop work order on the house. Can you tell me about that?
I understand that the previous contractor abandoned the job. I'm not familiar with the previous contractor.
Who was the previous contractor?
I do not
Mike's
know.
Powerhouse Crew.
Who?
Mike's Powerhouse Crew.
That's my brother's
He didn't
company.
pull a permit.
He didn't pull it, well, we know that.
That's why it got shut down. And he
Okay.
just abandoned. So now we're trying to help her out and finish the project for her.
She's actually been a customer of my family's business for over 20 years, and I want to do right by her.
And what's your family business?
Contracting,
You're contracting,
yes,
okay.
third generation.
So you know that you need a building permit before you start
I
a
know
project?
that. My brother knows better also, but I can't speak for him.
Well, before we get started here, I got a couple of questions here about this plan. Okay, whose plan is this?
Was that, Green?
Strong Tree Engineering?
Yeah.
Is that your plan?
It's the owners,
It's the owner's plan.
right.
Okay. I don't see any dimensions for the deck to the lot line. I'd like to know what those are. What's inside the shed?
Bicycles, lawn furniture, stuff like
There's a
that.
deck outside there. Is there any living quarters in there?
No.
Okay, okay. And I noticed there was, it looks like, was there, now, I noticed the downstairs, there's a cellar, a partial cellar, and on the property card, it says unfinished.
No, that's finished.
As long
That's
as I've been
finished.
around.
Well, how long you been around?
It's 2015, I think it was.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking at the property card. I don't notice any building permits for that lower unit.
It was finished when I got there. I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know what's down there?
It's just
Big
sheet
open
rocks,
space.
Walls, big open space.
Looks like there's a kitchen. I was looking in the window yesterday.
No, there's no
There's
kitchen.
kitchen cabinets in there.
Little coffee bar, I
I
think.
think they keep liquor in that cabinet right there. That's it.
Coffee bar.
Okay. Has the building department been inside the house?
I don't know.
Yeah, you were pretty sure.
I think we're gonna probably need an inspection of that property.
I know he came in today, he put the sticker on.
Well, he put that on the outside, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so do you know when the deck was built? The outside deck, that big deck on the back?
We didn't do that. That was maybe 3 years ago.
Who did that?
I have no idea. It was somebody that was cheaper.
So there was no permit for that either?
Don't know.
Because that actually,
This one here.
Looks like it's within 15 feet of the sideline.
yeah, no, it definitely is. So
Yeah,
that,
that one does look like it is.
that's not legal
The
either.
one there before the guy did it, it was old, pressure treated. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if he made it any bigger.
We just
But it was up
resurfaced
the
it.
side and around the back.
We can find out from Marilyn.
Okay. Well, I think what I would like to see is I'd like to see an inspection by the building department.
Okay?
And I would like to see this plan be a little bit more detailed as to how far that deck is away from that lot line.
The measurement for that.
not
Okay.
on it.
Right here, no. They've got these overall, but not the
Uh,
actual
You're
right
you're
here.
18.9 feet with the house.
But not this right here.
Deck looks like it's at least halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
So-
I think it comes on the side of the house.
And
Sketches of that stuff.
No, I didn't put it on there. He just did this drawing.
And so this drawing here too, I think we're gonna need some additional plans for this. This is not sufficient. We're gonna wanna know what's actually gonna be up there.
It's gonna be an art studio and an
Oh, that
office.
wing, okay, but
No
we're gonna,
closets are wide open. There's nothing else. Those are-
how many bathrooms are in the house right now?
Which it shows on the
Two,
left side of the print.
2.5,
It's just a
no.
wide open room.
One on the master.
Where are the bathrooms located in the house?
One on the second floor, one on the main floor.
That's it.
And is that it?
One on the main floor and one on the second floor, so the art studio has a bed, has a bathroom up there
At the
too?
top of the stairs to the right, there's a master bath, and then the master bedroom is off to the left.
On the second floor or the first floor?
Second.
And it's the landing area that they want to put the art studio in at the top of the stairs.
'Cause when
in
they came up
between
the
bedroom.
stairs, there was actually a smaller room there that was probably 10 by 8, and basically taking that wall, pushing it out to the end of the building. But you can see the roof line, the existing roof line, where the slider is, so they're pushing it from there out. So when you went up the stairs, it was a small room, the bathroom, master to the left,
Right.
which was.
And
it was-
so
that's
how
where
many
you did it.
total bedrooms are gonna be in the house after it's done?
3.
That hasn't changed, right?
No bedroom changing.
So are you just increasing the size? Are you,
Yeah, basically that dormer is just being pushed out.
as this is listed as a one-story house, how is it that you have bedrooms on the second floor right now?
Isn't it listed as 1.5 story?
I'm looking at your property card here.
Oh,
That whole street is the same way.
no idea.
Well, I'm not interested in the
It's
whole
got those
street. I'm
slope
only
ceilings
interested
up
in
top.
this particular address right now. Okay, well, I'm going to turn it over to the board and see if they have some questions, but I think some of the concerns that I have is I think we're probably going to have to have you come back with some more information, but why don't we go to the board here? Dick, do you have some questions?
No, I have some. Yeah, I understand what they're trying to do, and the house sits way too close to Priscilla Road, which is actually what, it's a different name, right, Alan? changed the name of the street too. Andrina.
Yeah. Did they change the name of it?
I think that's still,
I don't know if they
the
did.
same street.
Yeah, that's,
I know it's C, was it?
I think
A down.
I think I knew that had been changed at one point, yeah. I'm not sure I'm thrilled with the looks of the addition in terms of the aesthetics from the right elevation there. You know, in person, it probably wouldn't be too bad, but from that direction, it certainly doesn't look
What would you like to see
terribly nice to
differently?
me.
What would you like to see differently?
Well, I'm not sure. I think just because it kind of pops up like an oversized dormer from that elevation, it just
Mullions in the
odd to-
windows
looks
to make
odd to
it.
me.
Would you like mullions to make it
Well,
look
it's not even
more-
tied into the ridge. It's
Yeah.
sitting back
I
from
see
the
what you're
ridge.
saying.
Yeah, I think if it was
the
tied into the
setback
ridge,
here.
that would make a big difference, yeah.
Extend it out. even
Want
with
it
the
to go
ridge.
to meet the ridge?
Extend it out too, as far as the ridge, I think would look better, yeah.
Okay, I think you're right.
Excuse me. And then maybe one regular mullion window towards the front. Might look better than the three little windows, but I
you're
don't
saying.
really care.
Yep,
Yeah, 'cause that's where he was setting up his painting.
Gotcha.
Underneath.
I don't know how it ever got built that close to the street to begin with. There were no other Board of Appeals things showing on this property?
We got one back in 1972.
oh my gosh.
Did I miss that? What was that for?
Addition to existing house which does not meet the setback requirements. And it says here that noted when the addition, when completed, according to the sketching plan filed with the board, would be 8 feet from Andrina Road. In the event the board feels that the proposed addition is a substantial variance from the zoning bylaw, being a substantial degradation from the intent and purpose of the bylaw, public good would be adversely affected by granting the request. Therefore, the appeal is denied. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that was, I guess, before your friend's ownership.
Is this just a request for an addition to what was already there? That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically extending the 6 feet
Yeah.
to the edge of the house.
I mean, the other thing is too, this picture on the card doesn't look like it shows any deck or anything, or any second floor.
No, it doesn't.
So,
If you're down there, it looks a lot different, yeah.
this is the one place I didn't get a chance to drive by, so.
You might have a chance to, because I think this matter's gonna have to be, at least I have some questions that I need answered. I think we definitely need an inspection by the building department.
Yeah.
And a report back from them as to what's inside the house, especially the lower level, whether that's got cooking facilities, living facilities down there, because it shows it's unfinished. And then an inspection upstairs, what's gonna be up there.
He's been there, hasn't he, upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has been in the upstairs to look at that with
The day
Stanley.
he came and put the sticker on, he came through.
Well, I think we're gonna need to have some type of report generated so we can, and also, I think we're gonna need a little more definitive floor plan here.
Do
Okay.
we need the proposed addition on here too?
Well, at least on the site plan here, we're gonna need to know how far that deck is away from, it's not actually, it looks like a rear lot line, but it's actually a side lot line, because you have two fronts and two sides when you're on the
Right.
corner lots. But where you abut your neighbor there from that deck, we need to know how far that deck is away from the lot line.
Okay.
Anybody else have any comments or concerns?
So I just want to go through again. You want to have an inspection of the basement, you want to have an inspection of the second floor, and you want to have a more detailed floor plan, and you would like to have the
We need that site plan updated to show the distance between the
site
deck.
plan, okay? And you want the design change for the ridge to come all the way out to meet,
To the center.
okay?
Right now, it looks like that roof for the addition's gonna be above the top of the,
It is. It is right now, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting raised
how are
by
you gonna
2
bring
foot.
that back to meet the roof?
Well, the right way to do it is to
Beam in
raise
there.
the front of the roof and bring it up and meet it, but I don't know that they want to do that.
We're talking about a whole new roof.
The whole second floor.
I don't know how much headroom is up there right now.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
Well, if you got that addition on there in the back, I'm sure there's headroom, but if you didn't have that walking towards the front of the house, there really couldn't be, I wouldn't think.
It was probably about 16 feet, maybe. You know, before you hit your head on the sides.
Oh, you mean dormer?
Yeah, the second floor.
I guess,
This shows, I don't know if that picture's right. I
I
think
think it's
it's
kind of small
it's
personally.
probably a 6
I think
pitch or a
we're gonna
7.
need full schematics of the house, because the house isn't matching the card, so it's like, what's really there today, and what are you planning on changing?
Yeah, I would recommend that everybody get on and take a look at it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I did see it. So I'm confused as to what you're gonna leave the addition as is that what you were proposing? Or are you gonna?
It's there?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much,
okay.
and just finish.
So you're just gonna finish it off
Yeah,
like this other guy
exactly.
started?
And there's a deck that's gonna be on the back there, on the
On
second
the
floor?
roof, on the
But
second
that
floor
hasn't been
roof.
Done yet.
So the footprint of the property is not changing. It's not becoming increasingly more non-conforming in any way. It's just going up by 2 feet because of the ridge and to make it the art studio. So this actual portion is not impacting the nonconformity, but you obviously have other concerns about the property.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I think my major concern is how much work has been done without building looking at it, being aware of what's been done already.
Well, there's been,
The big deck, do you know when that was constructed?
It was a few years ago, I'm not exactly sure.
Maybe you should ask for relief for that, too. I
I'll,
don't know, should
I'll
they?
ask the owner when it was done.
I don't really know. I looked, but-
how long is it gonna take you to put that together?
As far as this plan, what do you think? You can get him to turn that around in a week?
Yeah,
Okay.
to redraw it.
And as far as this goes,
Drawing tree might take a little bit longer.
week or two? Yeah, for the updated, because he'll want to come back out and do that measurement himself. And then you guys are going to do the inspection of the basement and the second floor. And he's got to put the floor plan on here and change this up. What
say
would
you're
you
You
have
just
to-
want to have him draw the ridge to the center now. You want more detail on the floor plan.
Right,
We want a detailed floor plan, what's gonna be on that second floor,
Right.
including any bedrooms. We wanna know the distances. We want a plan like you're gonna use it to build it.
Okay. Yeah, complete one.
Like to see your window package, what you're doing there. And,
See if we can
is
get
there,
him to change this up.
someone's gonna have to give the building department access to the house. Who can do that? You?
Yeah, either one of us.
Okay.
All right.
We have we got a good contact number for them, Dolores, or?
Yeah, she has mine.
Okay. Then we'll do that, and like I said, if you could ask the building department to give us a written report, what they found inside. And our
And do you-
concerns with the lower level as to what's down there. Okay.
Do you want us to just upload it and submit it electronically? How would you like us to present it back to you?
You can email it right over to Dolores, that's fine.
I have her email.
Okay, great.
What do we have for dates? No, May 8th's too close, so we don't know if the building department can do it then.
May 26th
Right, it's gonna have, yeah. If
We'll give you May 22nd. We can do that. Everybody good with May 22nd?
Sure.
All right.
All right, so,
Sean, I'm just wondering if they should also ask for relief on the deck depending on when that was built.
well,
If it was
If you're
way
thinking
back.
I need it, I might want to amend my application to include it because it
I'm not
sounds as though
sure.
it might be a problem going forward for any work that needs to
Well-
be done on the property.
well, that's not what you're asking for.
No, it's
so-
not.
But
It's not.
I
You're
will
right.
say that it's a concern of mine because
Yes.
there's no permit for that, and
I
it
see you have
clearly looks
multiple
like it's.
concerns.
I'm not sure on
On
that
the
deck,
property.
whether he just took the boards off and put new tracks on, or he changed the whole thing, because there was a deck there,
Let me,
because it's like buried in the ground.
The
How long
picture,
it was there.
the picture on the card doesn't show a deck.
Right,
No?
right.
No. Not the one that wraps around that little pop-out, so that's why I'm confused.
The sketch does though, right? Is that right?
Like a little step there.
yeah, that does, but it doesn't, what it doesn't show is, well, I,
It says it's only 5 feet out. It looks, the current scan looks more than 5 feet.
well, I was over there in the backyard. I noticed that the neighbor on the other side has a fairly sizable deck themselves, so I don't know if that's something that's in the neighborhood or not. I mean, I, right now, am more concerned with the actual, what's going on with the house than I am with the deck. Does anyone have a real problem with this deck right now? I think it's important that we know where it is,
Yeah, we'll get
but
that on the plan.
it's really not part of their request for relief. So is that kind of a make or break with anybody?
Yeah, I guess not.
No? No?
Nope.
Okay, then why don't we just stick with the relief that you're
right.
requesting right now? We're gonna leave that deck
get
out.
the
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, let's just, 'cause you don't know, you didn't have anything to do with it, it wasn't part of this whole thing, not that I can see anyway. And like I said, I saw a deck right next to you, next door with your neighbor, well, not your neighbor, but your
Right, yes.
friend's neighbors, and it looked like a very similar deck, like, your deck wasn't brand new, there, it kinda looks like,
Somebody was working in the neighborhood.
yeah, so we'll just let that alone for now, okay. All right, so we're gonna, request for continuance, we're gonna need you to sign an extension if you would. So do we have a motion to continue the matter until May 22nd?
So moved.
Second, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries unanimously. We'll see you back here on May 22nd. If you can just get us that stuff, and we'll have one of the inspectors go over and do a walkthrough and generate a report for us.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now. We have minutes to approve?
No, Mr. Chairman, just a quick update on the March 13th minutes. I'm working with the town clerk on those, and I'll keep you all posted.
Okay. And do we need to take any action tonight to, nothing?
Not on minutes, no. Is there anything else you wanted to do, or?
Do we, what did I do with, what I had in front of me before?
You're attached to the, yeah.
Let me take a look-see here for a minute.
Anything you need to do about that?
This is what you're looking for?
No, I'm notorious for misplacing things here.
Stapled to mine.
What's your joke about?
Okay, yes, what we're going to do is we are going to update the vote on the 410, April 10th. I was remote, so technically we should take a roll call vote, even though we're on camera, so it probably doesn't matter, but we're just going to do a roll call vote on this. We've already voted on it. Has everybody got this sheet in front of them?
I'm looking for it.
I took yours. No, I have yours. No, there you go. John, do you have one, Dick?
Yeah, I got it.
I've got two.
It's
Second page.
It's attached to the,
Okay. All we're going to do is just reaffirm our votes by roll call.
agenda. Where's the agenda?
The new agenda or the old agenda?
I did, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
We got it.
Looks like we're all ayes, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Aye, 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 aye. Aye, aye, aye.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is just read off the petition. Everybody knows how they voted, but we're going to do by way of roll call, okay? So on petition 5169, which was Spinners Inn, South Yarmouth LLC, Parkers River Resort. Motion was made by Mr. Frapery, seconded by Mr. Mantoni to approve the special permit for 1 year and subject to the same conditions of previous decision for seasonal employee housing. We're going to take a roll call vote. Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Frapery?
Aye.
Mr. Mantoni?
Aye.
Ms. Murphy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. That carries unanimous. On petition 5170, be Owlsome Childcare. That property was located at 785 Route 28, Unit 9, South Yarmouth. A motion was made by Mr. Martin, seconded by Mr. Frapery to approve the special permit. I'm going to take a roll call vote. Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Martin was a nay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nay. I should look at what I'm doing.
Read along with us. Mr. Frapery?
Nay.
Mr. Mantoni?
Nay. Nay.
Mrs. Murphy?
Nay.
And I'm a nay. Okay. The motion was 0 in favor, 5 against. The special permit was denied. A motion was made by Mr. Martin and seconded by Mr. Frapery to deny the variance. Roll call vote. Mr. Martin?
This one's an aye.
Mr. Frapery?
Aye.
Mr. Mantoni?
Aye.
Ms. Murphy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. That was 5-0 in favor to deny the variance. The variance was denied. Petition 5171, John Frederick Tolley, trustee of the John Frederick Tolley Living Trust, 23 Iroquois Boulevard. A motion was, applicant seeks a special permit to overturn the decision of the building inspector. Retail lobster sale of lobster at the residence is not protected as pre-existing or permissible use. Motion was made by Mr. Frapery and seconded by Mr. Mantoni to deny the petition based on it being a repetitive petition that is less than 2 years old. Mr. Martin, how'd you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Frapery?
Aye.
Mr. Mantoni?
Aye.
Ms. Murphy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. The motion was 5-0 in favor to deny the petition. The petition was denied. Okay, a meeting minutes for March 27th, 2025. A motion was made by Mr. Frapery, seconded by Mr. Martin to approve the meeting minutes for March 27th, 2025. Mr. Martin, how'd you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Frapery?
Aye.
Mr. Mantoni?
Aye.
Ms. Murphy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion was 5-0 in favor to approve the minutes. Minutes are approved. That's all we have. Motion to adjourn, anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
Mr. Martin, how do you vote?
Aye.
Just checking. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. All right, we are adjourned.